Our next speaker has been in the BetaWorks ecosystem for like 15 years. She helped come up with the term data scientist, and now she is making AI games. Please welcome up Hilary Mason.
Hi, everyone. I want to talk to you about how AI can actually help us tell better stories together and better daydreams. Do you ever read a book or watch a show or a movie and then you're thinking about it? You're imagining worlds that don't exist or who you might be if you were someone else. So I was really awkward and grumpy as a kid. Here's a photo of me in Hawaii at like 12 years old, and that hasn't changed at all. But one of the things I really enjoyed was playing these sorts of games. These are role-playing games that I could play with my friends, and they give us structures for telling stories together, ways to connect with each other. And I grew up to love all the weird corners of the internet. And it turns out one of the things that is true about the internet is that if you love something, there are people out there who love it too. It's like Rule 34, but totally PG. And so here we are in the year 2024, and we, the people of AI, have a choice to make. What are we going to build with this thing that has become possible? There's a huge surface area of potential stuff we can do. And I'm going to tell you a little bit of my personal journey so you can understand why I want us all to build beautiful daydreams. In 2009, even before that, I was a professor and I got a lot of the same questions from students, and I wrote scripts to write back automatically, and it went horribly wrong. In 2012, I got fascinated by this virtual boyfriend app that got banned from the App Store for saying really rude things, mostly to young women, including, I love you, I love YouTube, right? This is a real app. I became completely fascinated with language generation, and in 2014, I started a company called Fast Forward Labs, and we built a report and prototype that did natural language generation, in this case taking structured data and making it legible in language, the opposite of what Harper Reed just told us about. In 2015, we started getting into deep learning for understanding images, so we built this thing where you could put in your Instagram account and it would tell you what you took photos of, which was awesome, except this burger restaurant, it thought anything that was French fries next to water was a crab. Like, went totally wrong. This one actually isn't funny, it's real. We actually built a lot of real, completely scaled, beautiful NLP applications, doing things like sitting on thousands of news articles, clustering them, summarizing them, making them useful for people to make better decisions. So we are here an hour into a bunch of talks about AI, and nobody has tried to define what we are even talking about. So I'm gonna do it. We are talking about LLMs in particular, models that take a huge amount of underlying data and then learn compressed representations of relationships between tokens in that data. That means that what we are talking about is a system that has learned from the internet how to make the most mediocre crap, like by design. It also builds on the biases in that underlying data by design. So if we want to build beautiful daydreams and beautiful stories together, we have to have some principles. I also co-authored a book with some wonderful people on this topic, still very relevant. You can like throw it on someone's desk and make a lot of noise with it. First principle, machines are not creative, people are. I believe this. You can fight me over drinks. That's why there are drinks here. But also it doesn't matter, because the principle is that it is people's creativity that actually matters. That's a principle and a value. Also, the economics of these products and these systems are things that we design. The people in this room design them. So we get to choose. Do we want to take the underlying data with no provenance, no permission, and then compete with the person who created that? Or do we want to actually reward them? And the last one's more of a product thinking principle, but the world doesn't need more stories in it. If you go to an archive of their own, one of the coolest archives of fanfic, there are over 12 million stories there. But it needs our stories. And so how do we build beautiful stories with AI that are actually good? Well, the way I like to think about it is taking the familiar elements and bringing them together, the tropes, making a combinatorial trope machine where everything can come together to create something new with structures that we expect, but that are subverted in ways that are interesting and creative and let us express ourselves. And it means that the AI becomes our like drunk pair programming buddy, our drunk pair improving buddy. I also want to take a little aside to say AI is having like a total moment right now. This is DALL-E 3 trying to make a slide for this presentation. The only AI generated thing in this presentation, everything else was hand drawn. That text was beautiful nonsense. All right, so to bring this all together, I hope you can join me on this journey of learning to do AI wrong and hilariously wrong and sometimes right, and realize that we are in a moment where we can build beautiful stories together, but it's a choice that we have to make, and we should all make it and make really cool stuff. If you like this, please reach out. Thank you.